Shape-shifting UFOs and flying humanoids are everywhere. Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube, and this is a subject that I'm really crazy about, and I've covered this off and on throughout the years. But it's difficult when we're dealing with UFOs because, some of these are from the government. Obviously, there are government-style UFOs we see out there. And then other sightings could be explained away. But from time to time, it comes around. We'll get some really cool footage of something really unusual. It's the kind of stuff we like to check out here on the channel. What you're looking at right there is what people are calling a flying humanoid. Now this footage right here was actually captured August 9th, 2015 above Los Angeles. This flying humanoid was spotted over Sequoia Park east of Los Angeles, and it was seen by dozens of witnesses and recorded by multiple different video devices. So you'll find a lot of different sources online of this flying humanoid over Los Angeles. Many of the witnesses that were on scene described this as being a huge human-like figure in some kind of a suit. Some of the people even said you could see a visor at one point and an actual face inside of the suit. But what is it that they were really seeing? What is it that they were witnessing at this time? Is this really some kind of an alien anomaly? Is this something spiritual, I wonder? Could this be a fallen angel? Or could this be Project Bluebeam? Could this be some kind of a test run, especially being seen over Los Angeles, a city that is filled to the max with people? So here's some really interesting footage I want to share with you. This comes to us from Israel. It's another shape-shifting style UFO that was seen above Israel. And this footage came out just a few weeks ago. I originally saw this over on Dabu77's channel, so I'll leave a link below and you can go check out Dabu's video on this as well. So check this footage out here real quick. It was a couple of guys who were recording a prayer session in Israel, and then they captured something right outside their window. So take a look at this. So that's just a little bit of the footage, and I wanted to show you that. There's really not much more footage, but as I said, I'll leave a link below if you want to go to Dabu's channel and check out his video on this. And the reason I found it so fascinating is because, once again, looking into these things, studying these things for so many years, I've seen these exact type of anomalies in other places. And they really are all around the world. This is just on Google Images right here, and you can look up shape-shifting UFOs, and you're going to get a lot of examples of these. Just kind of go down here a little bit. As you can see, this is something that's been going on for a long time, and there's all different kinds of shape-shifting UFOs. Just to be clear, we're not talking about the government-style UFOs. In many cases, I believe that these shape-shifting UFOs could actually be entities. They could be the fallen ones, the fallen angels. The footage you're looking at right here is actually from a UFO summoning event. There are people out there that summon these UFOs. This has been going on for many years now. And typically the things they're summoning are, well, they're things like this. You can tell that's not a ship, or at least it doesn't seem to be. Here's another example of one of these shape-shifting UFOs that have been summoned at some of these different events. I highly suggest you look this up. Look up UFO summoning. And you'll find videos out there, people saying they've debunked this. But when you see what they're saying, it's typically the same as everybody else. It's a balloon. It's computer generated. Or whatever. But these bizarre shape-shifting UFOs have been seen all over the world. One of the most famous UFO summoners is a man that goes by the name Prophet Yahweh. He was involved in some really famous footage. There was a local news team where he lives from ABC that actually recorded him summoning a UFO in the sky, and the reporter and the cameraman both freaked out when after just a little bit they actually saw from far away a white orb show up in the sky, and it was definitely dancing all around and moving here and there. And as I said, it was enough to really shock the reporter and the cameraman. And Prophet Yahweh's been able to do this time and time again. And he's not the only one. But some other interesting things about him is that Prophet Yahweh at one point, he said that God Yahweh is actually the head of the White Brotherhood. If you don't know who the White Brotherhood are, it's actually the same ascended masters that Madame Blavatsky channeled, and whose transmitted information later became the basis for the Theosophical Society, which in turn was one of the sources from where Adolf Hitler got his inspiration. You can look up Hitler and the Secret Societies if you're unfamiliar with this subject, but the Nazis were also very interested in the paranormal, the occult, and UFOs, and how to summon them. And this footage here was captured by another UFO summoning event, and this is from a man named Robert Bingham, B-I-N-G-H-A-M. And this is just one example. Like I said, they all look different. I know some people will be, that's just a balloon, or it's a big inflatable doll, or whatever. Before condemning, do a little investigation into Robert Bingham, and you'll see that he has a long history of summoning all kinds of strange, shape-shifting UFOs like this. In fact, I used to do a radio show a few years ago called Rigged Reality Radio, and he was supposed to be one of my guests. And out of all the chat shows or podcasts and radio shows I've done throughout the years, that was the one night that all of my equipment just went crazy. Everything was going wrong. Even our phone call kept cutting off, so I couldn't even get him on the show. And I really wanted to. I really wanted to talk to him about this, because even back then I was convinced that these guys are summoning something. I personally believe these are spiritual manifestations, and this is no knock on Robert Bingham or any of the other people who are into this stuff. I believe what they're doing is real, but I do not think that these are good things to do. I don't think we should be trying to summon interdimensional entities. These demons, these fallen angels, whatever term you want to put on there, they want to be seen. This only strengthens the idea that these are alien visitors and these are our friends from outer space. And I've said for years on my channel that I believe that's all a part of a great delusion. Now here's another example. This is a really famous sighting. It's been around YouTube for many years. I've seen it on tons of channels, but it's a great capture. And this is from 2005. And this seems a little different than the others, doesn't it? It's over Mexico City. But what this one right here makes me wonder about is Project Bluebeam. You know, are some of these shape-shifting UFOs, these flying humanoids, are these examples of Project Bluebeam? So here's another theory for you, because in all my years of looking this up, I found that there are tons of videos from South America and Central America with these flying humanoids and with shape-shifting UFOs up in the sky. And of course we've seen that there's also footage of this in America and other places all around the world. But it seems like there's more down in South America and Central America. So I've wondered, is that the testing ground possibly for Project Bluebeam? And now of course it's shifting to America and other countries as well. But as I said, years ago you'd see tons of these kinds of videos from these places. And you always have people who will mock and be like, why do they always have to film on a potato? Why isn't it more professionally done? It's because, think about it. Think about it. Let's be logical here. Most of the best UFO captures are the organic ones, the real ones. It's people sitting around or people looking up at the sky and seeing something. And what's the first thing they do? What's the first impulse? It's to grab your phone. Most of our phones have cameras now. So this is why most of the footage you'll see of these things is from somebody's camera phone. People are freaking out. They want to hurry up and capture this the best way they can. Now, I personally am grateful for them doing this because a lot of people do it. And we get some truly miraculous footage. But has the government or governments of the world, or even the Illuminati, if you will, the shadow controllers, have they been testing this stuff out all around the world for years, slowly conditioning the public? They're being subtle about it. They know if they put something out there and just shoot that beam up for a while and create whatever image they want to create, that after a while people are going to start seeing it. People are going to start filming these things. People are going to start talking about these things. And if they do it over a series of years before the great reveal, whatever that reveal may be, well, then the public will be assimilated to this, will be ready for it. And I do think it's possibly a mix of all these things, because I also believe that a lot of these manifestations are spiritual in nature. And keeping with that idea that some of these may be spiritual in nature, there have also been a lot of these kind of sightings right here. It's the diamond UFOs. Lots of diamond-shaped UFOs have been spotted up in the skies for many, many years now. So there are lots of stories, as I said, concerning these diamond-shaped UFOs. You can check this out for yourself. Just do an internet search sometime and you'll see plenty of stories showing up about the diamond-shaped UFOs. And typically with a lot of these diamond-shaped UFOs, they're also shape-shifting up in the sky. So right here is a story about a diamond-shaped UFO that was captured through someone's kitchen window. So it's, as I was saying, to me, some of the best footage comes organically like this. Somebody looks out the window, they see something, they grab their phone, they turn on the camera, they film. I'll show you some footage of this one. And this right here is what they saw. The other diamond I showed you was different, right? Again, you can see there's differences in these things. This one right here seems to be more of a light type of a diamond UFO, and it's even more interesting the closer it gets. And as I said, look this up for yourself, you'll see there's tons of footage out there of these diamond-shaped UFOs that seem to be made out of light. And I believe that adds credence to the idea that these could be demonic interdimensionals or fallen angels. They come to us as angels. They come to us as light. And I want to share with you an interesting observation I made. This is a long time ago, but it has to do with those diamond-shaped UFOs. And this comes to us from the film 2001: A Space Odyssey, which was made by Stanley Kubrick. So if you didn't already know, Stanley Kubrick, very obviously, once you really look into his films and see what he's saying, he very obviously had insider information, if you will, on the secret societies. He had insider information about many so-called conspiracies, from the fake moon landing to the Illuminati themselves. Several of his movies are chock full of this kind of information, these strange little Easter eggs. And this brings us back to the diamond-shaped UFOs. So before I show you what I saw, I want you to hear from Stanley Kubrick's own words what the end of 2001 actually meant, and it actually connects to what I want to show you. At the end of the film, Bowman, who is the last surviving astronaut, gets swept up into a force field or a stargate that hurls him on a journey through inner and outer space and finally transports him to a whole other part of the galaxy where he's placed in a human zoo approximating hospital terrestrial environment drawn out of his own dreams and imagination. In a timeless state, his life passes from middle age to death. He is reborn an enhanced being, a star child. Again, these are Stanley Kubrick's own words. A star child, an angel, a superman, a superhuman if you like. And he returns to Earth prepared for the next leap forward of man's evolutionary destiny. Reactions to it will have elements of philosophy and metaphysics that have nothing to do with the bare plot outline itself. The main thing to keep in mind is that this man is transformed into an angel, basically. He's a spaceman, a man from space transformed into an angel who comes to the Earth for the next step of the evolutionary process. So here's what I saw. So as he's hurling through space, as he's caught in this vortex, this is a bit of the imagery that he's actually seeing. And then, all of a sudden, a massive all-seeing eye symbolism fills the screen. And this right here is the next sequence of events. It's these diamond-shaped UFOs that seem to be emanating light, or they're made from light. So all these little diamond-shaped, shape-shifting UFOs appear, and they do change shape during this sequence as well. Here's that footage of the diamond-shaped UFO that the person had captured through their kitchen window. Looks similar, right? Much so. And then that sequence ends of the UFOs, the diamond-shaped UFOs, that sequence ends with another all-seeing eye. So it's bookended. You have the all-seeing eye, you have the diamond-shaped UFOs, and then you have the bookend of yet another all-seeing eye. A lot of people just blanket statements say it's Illuminati, and sure, yes, I think on a lot of levels it applies, obviously. It's also the all-seeing eye of the beast. It's the all-seeing eye of the beast consciousness, or the beast system. So it's interesting. We know that Stanley Kubrick had some insider information. His own daughter has actually talked about some of this as well. You can look up some interviews with her. So was he telling us something? We also know the narrative. This man is being transformed into an angel, into a superman. Then he comes to the Earth for the next step of his evolutionary process. So it reminds me very much of the fallen ones, the fallen angels, and the whole narrative that takes place there. So shape-shifting UFOs, shape-shifting light emanating diamond UFOs, flying humanoids. What are these things really? Is it a mix of things? Could they actually be testing out Project Bluebeam? Is that a part of all this? That they could use something like this as a form of control? I certainly don't think that these are actual government ships. I think Project Bluebeam's a possibility, but I also think a lot of these are spiritual in nature, especially when dealing with people summoning these entities to themselves. So that's what I have for you guys for now. I appreciate you checking out the video. I find these subjects absolutely fascinating. Please continue researching for yourself. Don't just take the lazy way out. It's computer generated, or it's a bunch of balloons, or whatever. Look this stuff up for yourself. Do some research. There's so much amazing footage out there for you to see. Till next time, take care of yourselves out there, alright guys? I'll talk to you real soon.